Vietnam to resume international flights starting July this year. Essentials remain the top consumed products post-COVID-19. Prime Minister welcomes ExxonMobil's investment. Quality issue must be solved of Vietnam's products to the EU. Vietnamese bananas made it to the Korean markets. Hanoi determines to end straw burning on fields by 2020. 3 Vietnamese honored in top 100 Asian scientists this year. Hello and welcome to FBNC News Weekly. It's good to have you here with us in today's program. We begin with news on reopening the economy after the virus pandemic. Now, according to the recent announcement from Vietnam Airlines, the national flag carrier will reoperate international flights to South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Southeast Asia from July this year.
Vietnam Airlines is the first carrier announced planning to resume international flight after a hiatus due to COVID-19. Vietnam Airlines plans to fly to regional destinations such as South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Thailand, Singapore, Laos, and Cambodia. In particular, in South Korea, they plan to operate daily return flights between Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and Seoul, and 4 return flights a week between Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and Busan cities. The airlines also plan to operate Southeast Asia flights starting July.
Many countries in the world have formulated plans to reopen and welcome international tourists. Vietnam is no exception, and whether we can reopen or not relies on many factors, which are mainly dependent on the tourism industry to formulate a holistic strategy and plan to forestall the market.
Solutions on the international tourism industry recovery in the post-COVID-19 era has been vastly agreed by the Vietnamese enterprise community. These include gradually opening the market and welcoming international tourists from the areas that have good control over the pandemic, because Vietnam needs to ensure that each market to which it opens has to meet the reliable standards to ensure the safety for local residents.
Quan trọng nhất là cái độ an toàn cho quốc gia, an toàn cho người dân và an toàn cho cộng đồng, an toàn cho du khách. Bởi vì chúng ta đang thực hiện song song 2 cái nhiệm vụ là vừa là phát triển kinh tế nhưng vẫn vừa bảo đảm an toàn. Thế thì việc mà chúng ta mở cửa đường bay vào mùng 1 tháng 7 thì các doanh nghiệp lữ hành chúng tôi cũng sẽ nghiên cứu để làm sao mà sẽ kết hợp cái đường bay đấy để có thể khôi phục từng phần một để đón một số khách ở một số thị trường an toàn vào Việt Nam và đưa khách Việt Nam đến một số thị trường an toàn.
Quan trọng số 1 là mở cửa nhưng không được để dịch tràn vào. Thì đó chúng tôi, mặc dù là đối với ngành du lịch chúng tôi rất cần khách, nhưng mà chúng tôi cũng hiểu là cái chuyện như vậy. Vì thế khi phân tích thị trường chúng tôi phân tích rất là cẩn thận và Viettravel sẽ nhắm đến thị trường Đông Bắc Á trước.
In line with this opinion, experts say that we should consider and suggest tourists to come into full package and in isolated resorts, allowing the groups to limit themselves to a certain area in order to eliminate the risks of community infection.
Phải chọn lọc để làm sao mà có những cái địa điểm nó vẫn thu hút được khách, có những cái sản phẩm rất là hấp dẫn nhưng mà cũng có một cái phạm vi nhất định để chúng ta có thể kiểm soát được tình hình dịch bệnh nó tốt hơn. Sau đó thì chúng ta mới mở rộng ra các cái địa phương khác, tức là tóm lại là muốn mở được thị trường quốc tế thì chúng tôi nghĩ là phải từng bước một chứ cũng chưa thể mở ngay ồ ạt được.
Tìm ra những cái biện pháp để chúng ta có thể vừa phục vụ khách vừa đảm bảo an toàn, và cái này thì hết sức cái quan trọng, vai trò của ngành y tế rất quan trọng. Khi phối hợp với ngành du lịch thì chúng ta sẽ phát triển được cái du lịch quốc tế.
In the latest government's annual meeting, Vietnam's Prime Minister stressed that we can't either fully shut down the international lines or reopen recklessly if we can't be sure about the safety level of target markets. The Prime Minister also orders the National Emergency Operations Center to allow international flights to the areas that reported no cases of COVID-19 in the community within 30 days. This can be considered an opportunity for tourism industry to exploit the foreign market, which has since remained idle.
From now until sometimes in the near future, essentials such as food, chemicals related to hygiene and house cleaning would still remain the top priority in the buying list of consumers. This is according to a survey on customer behavior under the influence of COVID-19 recently conducted and published by the Business Association of High-Quality Vietnamese Products.
The survey was conducted through email and social media all over the country, with a focus on two major cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City during the latter half of May. According to the survey, products like food, healthcare, chemicals related to personal hygiene and house cleaning remain to be the top priority of consumers in the near future. Health-related is the utmost characteristic of products that customers consider, following up their level of convenience and brand reputation. Advertisement and discounts are the characteristics that have phased out in drawing customers' attention to the products.
Cái điều kiện để tiêu dùng và hành vi của người tiêu dùng đã thay đổi nhiều sau dịch. Người ta sẽ lựa chọn những cái gì mà thiết yếu nhất, những cái gì bức bách nhất và với một cái giá nó phải chăng nhất. Trong khi đó chúng tôi phát hiện thấy những điều mới trong cái điều tra của bản thân trung tâm BSA và của Canta Việt Nam là hai cái yếu tố được người tiêu dùng quan tâm nhiều hơn so với trước đây là sức khỏe và tiêu chuẩn cũng như thông tin của cái sản phẩm.
Survey results also showed some changes in customers' shopping channels. Modern shopping channels like supermarkets, mini-marts, and convenience stores remain popular for customers during the pandemic. However, there is a considerable rise in online shopping, especially for products such as healthcare and household items. Most of the surveyed customers said that they were involved in online shopping in the social distancing period, and 98% of these customers said that they would remain to do so in the future.
Based on the request made by ExxonMobil Petroleum Group, headquartered in the United States, wanting to find an opportunity to invest in Vietnam, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc has had a telephone conversation with Mr. Atiza Sayed, global president of the group, in which he welcomes ExxonMobil's investment into the country.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc welcomes ExxonMobil's investment plans in many fields in Vietnam, including natural gas extractions (LNG), petrochemical refining, and electricity production from LNG. The Prime Minister asserts that ExxonMobil's cooperation is crucial for contributing to the joint cooperations between Vietnam and the United States, especially the 25th anniversary of establishing diplomatic relations between the two countries will be celebrated this year. The Prime Minister stressed that Vietnam is one of the countries that has been successful in controlling the COVID-19 pandemic in times. The government is taking advantage of the situations to advance in many developments and sees a great demand of energy for Vietnam in this state. Therefore, the government welcomes ExxonMobil's desire to invest in port channels, LNG gas warehouse, and LNG power plants with the most undated technology in Hải Phòng. With the scale of more than 4,000 megawatt electricity production project from LNG, the expected operations in the periods between 2025 to 2030 will have a major contribution to the development of not only Hải Phòng cities but also to the Northern Key Economic Zone. Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc also welcomed ExxonMobil's plans for electric gas channels with a capacities of about 3,000 megawatt in Long An. For these combinations, ExxonMobil will ensure a steadily full supply of LNG directly from the United States and from several other countries. The import of LNG will contribute to the construction of trade balance harmonics with the mutual benefit between both countries. Mr. Atiza Sayed highly appreciates that Vietnam has used effective measures to control COVID-19 and are complimented all over the world. This success will build a safe and reliable investment environment for international investment and trade in Vietnam.
The EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement does not only bring benefits to Vietnam's local customers, but also to its agricultural products through the leverage of their export turnovers and competitive edges at the EU market. However, quality remains a consistent issue to be solved, especially if Vietnam wants to please those fastidious customers in such markets.
Vietnamese rice is one of the products sold in the counters of Carrefour supermarket in Brussels, the capital of Belgium. Fragrant rice has been one of the best sold products at the EU market through years.
Et c'est ça qui donne confiance aux consommateurs, c'est que ce riz il est certifié bio. C'est cette certification qui fait qu'il donne un attrait, puis un emballage qui est bien particulier, un emballage un peu. Ça fait maintenant quelques mois que nous vendons le riz de Vietnamese.
However, the amount of rice exported to the Belgian market and the EU's in general is still limited. This can be attributed to high import tax rate from 5% to 45%, sometimes 100% or more, and the technical barriers of the EU countries. That's why it's not easy to take advantage of EU's demands to export the full 80,000 tons of rice.
Ce que nous recherchons en Europe sont naturellement toujours, les consommateurs recherchent un produit où il a une certitude de l'origine, une certitude de certification, une certitude d'hygiène. Et si on retrouve tous ces critères-là sur l'emballage du produit,
các doanh nghiệp Việt Nam cũng nên chú ý đến những cái chuẩn chất lượng của châu Âu về an toàn vệ sinh thực phẩm để đạt chuẩn hơn. Lúc đó chúng ta vào thị trường châu Âu nó mới dễ.
Quality is an issue not only with rice, but also with other agricultural products that benefit from the EVFTA, like shrimps and fruit.
Et donc, moi, je me suis souvent opposé à d'autres accords parce que nous avions les mêmes forces, que ce soit avec le CETA, avec le Canada, avec le TTIP, que ce soit le Mercosur, c'est la viande qui est très sensible. Avec le Vietnam, nous aurons l'un et l'autre des avantages. Donc, au niveau
EU is a large market with over 450 million residents, as the entrance to the EU market has been facilitated for the Vietnamese enterprises. Aligning to the standards of the demanding market will pave the way for exporting Vietnamese products to other high-quality markets all over the world.
Recently, the Philippines International Trade Corporation, PITC, has organized a tender to import 300,000 tons of rice to the Philippines. According to the bidding results, Vietnam has won a supplement of 30,000 tons of rice.
Representative of Vina Food One took a lead in rice shipments to Davao Port with the volumes of 30,000 tons. Bidding price is at $497.30 per ton. Currently, Vina Food One is still wanting to export rice to Manila Port. Therefore, this company has made an appeal letters about the auctions. In response to Vina Food One, PITC said that the import contract will depend on the budget from the Philippine government. This react has not yet constituted the import commitments of PITC nor confirmed the contract for the bidders.
Last week, Vietnamese bananas has been introduced to Korean market at Lotte Mart complex near the central station of Seoul. Lotte Mart Group and the Vietnam Embassy in South Korea have together hosted the event, as the products will be sold in Lotte Mart chains all over the country.
Since 2014, Vietnamese bananas have started to present in South Korea market. In the recent years, the export turnovers of the Vietnamese bananas into South Korea has increased significantly. At the end of 2019, the export mass reached 6,685 tons with the value of $4.2 million, a sharp increase compared to just 180 tons in 2015. We can view this positive result due to the fact that Vietnamese entrepreneurs have collaborated with South Korea businesses to research and improve the banana cultivar and the process of planting, harvesting, storing and packaging in alignment with the South Korea's customer behaviors. According to some commercial experts, with an outstanding competency of the distribution chain and the quality control experience of Lotte Mart, the Lopang Banana Vietnamese brand will surely win the hearts of South Korean customers. Lopang bananas are planted in the highlands at Lopang Commune, Mangyang Prefecture in Gia Lai. where the differences in temperature between days and nights are large. The bananas have thick skin and are 1 to 2 times sweeter than its other counterparts. The price is highly competitive, with just over 3,000 won for 1 kilogram of bananas. It is expected that 1,600 tons of bananas per year would be imported by Lotte Mart to distribute to 81 of its mega supermarkets. South Korea is a market with 51 million people with strong purchasing power. It has an average annual income of $33,400 in 2019, ranked 26th in the world. The country has a very high local demand for agricultural products and food consumption, especially with fishery products, fruits and vegetables. An average South Korean consumed about 65 kilograms of fruit per year. Favorite fruits in South Korea include bananas, tomatoes, watermelons, strawberries, and grapes. However, local production of these fruits only meets 60% of the demand. South Korea has to mostly import bananas since the planting conditions are not favorable. Countries with the most amount of bananas exported to the South Korea markets are Philippines, Ecuador, Guatemala, Peru, Mexico, and Vietnam.
A project to support ongoing efforts by the Vietnamese government and civil society organizations to address violence against women and children in the context of COVID-19 was launched in Hanoi on last Wednesday. The aim is to strengthen the national prevention and response mechanisms to address the issue.
The project named Supporting Interventions to Eliminate Violence Against Women and Children in Vietnam under COVID-19 emergency context, with the involvement of the Government of Australia and the United Nations agencies in Vietnam, aims at ensuring that all Vietnamese women and children, including those most vulnerable, can live a life free of violence. The scheme will receive financial support of 2.5 million Australian dollars from the Australian government. This is part of Australia's $10.5 million contribution to support Vietnam's response to COVID-19. The project will raise public awareness among women and girls, men and boys, parents, caregivers, children and adolescents about the increased risks of violence in home, quarantine centers and other institutions. Increased support of victims of violence will be delivered in 4 cities and provinces of Hanoi, Quảng Ninh, Da Nang, and Ho Chi Minh City, the locations most affected by COVID-19 over the past months. It will help ensure survivors have access to integrated and essential services. Innovative approaches will be introduced in communications and service provision work, taking into account of special circumstances of COVID-19 in partnership with supermarkets, pharmacies, and hotels. It will be co-implemented by Vietnamese partners, including the Ministries of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs, Culture, Sports and Tourism, Education and Training for the period of June 2020 to May 2021. According to Naomi Kidahara, UNFPA representative in Vietnam, risks of physical abuse, sexual abuse and child sexual abuse and exploitation have increased substantially. School closures and social distancing measures exposed children to increased isolation and to substantial protection risks, threatening their safety and ultimately their right to grow up and learn in a safe and protected environment away from harm. Naomi also said that ending violence against women and children should be a priority for everyone. There is no way for Vietnam to achieve the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals without addressing the issue of violence against women and children.
As Hanoi farmers finished harvesting rice, people living in suburban areas repeatedly complained about the smoke in the air caused by burning of straw fields. The post-harvest practice has long been common, and this year is no different, causing annoyance for citizens.
In order to limit straw burning, many localities have implemented strict measures in which farmers were asked to not burn straw and reuse it after harvesting. However, straw burning still happens in many localities such as Dan Phượng, Phúc Thọ, Sơn Tây, and Quốc Oai districts. The main reason is because of the lack of awareness of some people.
Cái tập quán ngày xưa người ta sử dụng rơm rạ, một số hộ người ta dùng để làm cái phân bón cho cái cây mạ mới trưởng thành, cái mạ bắt đầu chuẩn bị thì người ta bón cho để nó đảm bảo nó tốt. Cái lượng sử dụng thì nó cũng không nhiều, không đáng kể nữa.
Hiện nay một số chủ vườn cây có nhu cầu mua tro để đốt rơm rạ về bón phân cho cây trồng, nên một số hộ dân đã tiến hành đốt rơm rạ sau khi thu hoạch để lấy tro.
The authorities said that straw burning has decreased but not significantly. It is necessary to implement more measures to end straw burning with the aim by 2021, the whole city of Hanoi will no longer have to suffer pollution from straw burning.
Với cái lộ trình như vậy thì thời gian chỉ còn khoảng 6 tháng nữa, thì đề nghị các anh là tham mưu với Ủy ban Nhân dân huyện sớm có những cái thanh tra, kiểm tra, giám sát chặt chẽ, tuyên truyền các xã khẩn trương và quyết liệt trong cái việc triển khai cái chỉ thị 15 của Ủy ban thành phố về rơm rạ.
It is also suggested that localities must have solutions to support people in dealing with straw after harvesting, such as recycling or sell it for fertilizing purpose.
3 Vietnamese scientists, all female, have made it into the list of Asia's most outstanding researchers in 2019, as compiled by Singapore-based Asian Scientist magazine.
The recognition of the trio comes after they received the 2019 L'Oréal UNESCO for Women in Science National Fellowship, an award which honors the excellence of women who are on the cutting edge of scientific research. Associate Professor Dr. Hồ Thị Thanh Vân is ranked 23rd among 100 of the most outstanding researchers throughout all of Asia in terms of material science. She was praised for synthesizing novel nanomaterials which can enhance the efficiency of fuel cells. In the life sciences category, Dr. Trần Thị Hồng Hạnh has been hailed for her research on the use of finger chromatography as a means of assessing the quality of medicinal herbs sold commercially throughout the nation. Dr. Hạnh is ranked 32nd position in the list, coming in at 87th position in the top 100. The third Vietnamese female scientist to make the list is Dr. Phạm Thị Thu Hà in the agriculture category. Her research is renowned for utilizing molecular markers as a means of developing high-yielding salt-tolerant rice varieties in affected areas throughout the Mekong Delta. Asian Scientist is a Singaporean magazine that has been publishing its online editions since 2011. This is the 5th time that Asian Scientist has compiled a list of Asia's top researchers to celebrate the success of the region's best and brightest, highlighting their achievements across a range of scientific disciplines.
On June 10th, the National Cybersecurity Center, a subunit of Authority of Information Security, Ministry of Information and Communications, reported that there were 439 cyber attacks recorded in May this year. These attacks resulted in breakdown of information systems in Vietnam, rendering them inaccessible. This indicates, however, a 10.6% decrease in the number of attacks compared to May last year.
In the first 5 months of 2020, there were 1,495 cyber attacks on information systems in Vietnam that led to breakdowns, a 43.9% decline compared to the same period in 2019. The Ministry of Information and Communications has implemented many synchronous solutions on policies and techniques to promote cybersecurity initiatives, while the Authority of Information Security implemented a remote monitoring system at the National Cybersecurity Center in order to diagnose the states of malware infection in time. In the process of formulating e-government and digitalizing, the Ministry of Information and Communications has identified cybersecurity and safety as the utmost and essential priority. In 2020, there are 4 to-be-met targets related to cybersecurity and safety issues by the ministry. In particular, all Vietnamese agencies and organizations must implement a 4-layer model to safeguard their cybersecurity and safety. All ministries, departments, and local authorities must implement solutions regarding controlling and safety monitoring. All telecommunications enterprises and internet service providers must invest and deploy technical measures to ensure the ability to handle law-violating information sources.
Now that has wrapped up our program today. Thank you for watching. We're looking forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.